Hey everyone, I'm Mike from theparkprodigy.com, and on today's video, we're going to break down everything you need to know about the Universal Orlando refillable cups and the Universal Orlando refillable popcorn buckets. And these two topics are very, very popular, especially for families who are looking to save a couple of bucks, as I like to say, visiting the theme park. So if you are in the process of planning a Universal Orlando trip and you are trying to figure out, different, little snacks and little ways to just save money here and there while in the parks, just be sure to stick around until the end of this video. As always, I'm very excited, so let's go get started. Thank you again so much for checking out this video. Like I said, we are about to break down everything you need to know about the Universal Orlando refillable cups and then those Universal Orlando popcorn buckets. The popcorn buckets we're going to leave for last just because we're kind of excited to talk about them. Disney does get all of the kind of, fame, and they get all the publicity when it comes to those refillable popcorn buckets, but Universal has stepped their game up specifically with some really, really cool Minion buckets over the past couple of years, so we do have to talk about that. But let's jump in and let's start with the Universal Orlando refillable cups. So for families who have not been to the parks in a while, or if this is your first time visiting, essentially the Universal Orlando refillable cups are cups that you can purchase while visiting Universal Orlando to refill beverages throughout your stay. So depending on the type of refillable cup that you purchase, it could be essentially a refillable cup where you get extremely discounted refills, or it could be a refillable Coke Freestyle cup, quote unquote, where it will be, pretty much free refills throughout your trip. There's also a Universal Orlando Butterbeer refillable cup, but that's going to essentially give you refills at a different price. We're going to break all this down. That's essentially, in a nutshell, that is what we're trying to figure out. That's what we're trying to help you figure out. Which refillable cup, if you're the type of family that loves to drink soda, diet soda, or just kind of keeping your water bottles filled throughout the day, right? If you prefer to have as many options as possible, then you want to make sure to look into these refillable cups, especially if you're going to be in the parks for a couple of days, right? Because family of four, when you start to go through and buy sodas at every single meal, or sodas at every single little stop, it will add up quickly. Essentially, like we just said, what are the refillable cups? There are three at this point in time, and they are going to be essentially the regular Universal Orlando refillable cups. These are essentially just going to be a Universal souvenir cup. Then there's going to be the plastic butterbeer cups, okay? And then the third is going to be the Coke Freestyle cup. So those are the three type of refillable cups that you do have to keep in mind on your next Universal Orlando vacation. All right, so next, let's jump into the pricing of these cups and kind of, we'll start to essentially help you figure out which one's the best fit for you and then how you can use them throughout the park. So when it comes to the refillable cups, we do have the Universal Orlando Character Sipper, which is going to start right around $18 plus tax. We do have the Universal Orlando Coke Freestyle Cup, which is going to pretty much be starting at $18 plus tax. Then we have the Universal Orlando Butterbeer Souvenir Cup, which is $12.99. And then we have the Universal Souvenir Metal Cup, which is going to be $17 plus tax. So again, the biggest thing to understand, and it's so, honestly, I actually don't know why Universal made this so confusing, but when it comes down to the cups, for the regular Universal Orlando refillable cup, it is going to essentially be the $17.99 plus tax, and then it's going to be $1.49 for a refill at any of the participating locations. And when we break down the participating locations, it is essentially anywhere where you can get a fountain soda. So the only places that really would not be included are going to be those, the carts throughout the park. And the main reason, though, is because those carts don't have, sodas, fountain sodas anyway. So that's how the regular Universal Orlando refillable cup works. So when we go and we hop over to the butterbeer cups, right, what is the benefit of having a butterbeer cup? Because it can be confusing, again, because you might think that you get refillable or unlimited butterbeer or discounted butterbeer. Unfortunately, that is not the case. The way it works is when you're getting your first butterbeer, you can upgrade to a souvenir cup, either the metal cup or the plastic souvenir butterbeer cup. and you will not get free unlimited butterbeer for the rest of the day, unfortunately. What you will get, though, and what you can do is you can use that souvenir cup to then get the $1.49 refill for sodas throughout the park. So that is the benefit of it. And of course, you can go back and pay for another butterbeer and get it in that cup. So that is kind of the way that the Harry Potter cups are working. When we jump over to the Coke Freestyle cup, again, essentially the way that it works is it's going to be $17.99 plus tax. Universal also has like a bundle when you start breaking it down for your family. So if you get 2 Coke Freestyle cups, it's going to be $15.99 plus tax each. And then anywhere between 3 to 6 Coke Freestyle cups are going to come down to $13.99 plus tax. So the other important thing that I do believe helps everyone at home try to figure out if these cups are the right fit for you and your family is, I would say, on average, a fountain soda at the park is probably going to be around $4.25. Might be a little low at this point in time too, in quote unquote inflation, but that's pretty much where you're going to be, right? So again, when you start to break down and look at the cup prices compared to how much an average soda costs, 4 sodas pretty much pays for the cost of one refillable cup, right? And then once you start breaking it down after that, you could see that the savings can get there pretty quickly. So that's essentially how much the cups cost. And the other really cool thing to keep in mind is if you are a family that, let's say, goes to the parks pretty often, specifically for that Universal Orlando Coke Freestyle cup, what you can do is your cup essentially does not expire. So the way that the cups work is there is an RFID chip on the bottom of the cup. So when you go up to that Coke Freestyle machine, you'll essentially be able to scan the barcode on the bottom of the cup, and then it will allow you to kind of pick the beverage you want. You can reactivate your cup for $10.99 per day, so that cup does not expire. So yes, it is $17.99 plus tax up front, but then you can come back and you can reactivate that cup for later vacations. And just like we just said, yes, it is $10.99 for the day, but when you start to break down how much is an average soda in the park, $4.25. Again, if you're going to have 3 or 4 sodas throughout the day, it's a no-brainer. It just makes sense to do that for you and your family. The Universal Coke Freestyle Cup, again, essentially will allow you special type of soda dispensing machines that lets you choose from what feels like hundreds of types of sodas. So it's a standalone machine with a touch screen that you can scan your Universal Coke Freestyle Cup. And again, it allows free refills, which is different from the regular Universal Orlando refillable cup. And again, the coolest thing in our opinion about the Freestyle Cup is that the different type of sodas types. And if you go on our Instagram or TikTok, YouTube, you'll see that there's actually also some hidden flavors within the Coke Freestyle machine. So it's really cool, especially if you are a soda lover, if you love sweets and sugar, stuff like that. You're going to be overwhelmed by the amount of flavors that they have at these machines. That's really cool. And so some of the tips and tricks that we would say just for the refillable cups is, again, if you're watching this video, you are definitely doing the right thing. You're being as prepared as possible for your vacation. And in my opinion, you really want to make sure that you get your cup, from day one so that you get the most out of it, and that will allow you to save the most money. And the other thing too is, how do you purchase the cups, right? Well, you can purchase them essentially at any of the participating locations within the parks. And again, last tip and trick here is for that Universal Orlando Butterbeer Souvenir Cup, don't forget you do have those discounted refills at $1.49 throughout the park, which we think is very important because almost everyone, I don't care, but I believe almost everyone is going to have a butterbeer once they get into the Wizarding World of Harry Potter. Okay, so let's jump over to the Universal Orlando popcorn buckets, and we are going to start with the basic popcorn bucket just because this gives you the biggest bang for your buck. So the standard popcorn buckets will run you around $12.29. And then again, the cool thing about this is it's going to allow you for a refill that will cost you $2.19. So in our opinion, this is a great way to feed your entire family. Keep them snacking throughout the day at a very affordable price. Now, when it comes to those, other specialty character buckets that have characters such as the Minions, we would say that the pricing is probably going to be between $30 to $50, depending on which type of bucket Universal Orlando has out at this point in time. So when you start to look at that, it might not be there from a savings standpoint, but again, a lot of families or guests in general, what they would like to do is bring those buckets home as souvenirs, and this is especially very big over at the Disney park. But again, what we would say is if you do plan to spend a couple of days in the parks, and if you know that you love popcorn and your family loves popcorn, then definitely take a look at the original, like we said, that that refillable bucket at $12.29. Popcorn at the parks costs between $5 to $7. So what we would say is when you start to look at the numbers and say, hey, well, each time I want to go grab a popcorn, it's going to cost me $5, but I can get the refillable bucket for $12.29, and then it's only going to cost me $2.19, per refill. Again, you could see. And the other thing I love specifically about the popcorn is that you'll have the bucket, but everyone can share it too, and you can go and ask for a cup, and then everyone's snacking throughout the day. Again, we just think this is a really, really great way to kind of keep moving, keep everyone full as you're enjoying the Universal Orlando theme parks. Again, one of the most important things is if you know that you are going to be snacking throughout your entire Universal Orlando vacation, just take advantage of the popcorn bucket from day one. Make sure that you do grab it on day one so that you do get the most out of it. The other important thing that we did read is if you purchase a specialty popcorn bucket and let's say it breaks on the day of the purchase, they will give you a new one if you make sure you hold on to your receipt. But that is it, everyone. That is essentially everything you need to know about the Universal Orlando Refillable Cup program and then the Universal Orlando Refillable Popcorn Bucket. I really hope that you found this video helpful. I hope that you learned a thing or two and that you do have a couple tricks up your sleeve to save some money on your next Universal Orlando vacation. But I think that's all the time we have for today. Thank you all again so much for checking out this video, and until next time, I will talk to you soon.